Can we really call MAGA folks dupes if they enjoy being lied to? Yes, all the Trump is Russia collusion is a hoax. Yeah. All ended up being wrong. John, who would have thunk?
Yeah, I think it's because our MAGA friends don't understand the difference between an agent and an asset. It's not saying that Trump was actually taking marching orders. It's that Trump was an unwitting dupe, and that Trump himself, it was so dumb that he was able to be an asset for many years. No one's saying he's on a payroll necessarily, except he is. And Vladimir Putin owns $2 billion of his debt. And maybe all those money guys that Mueller decided not to use can finally stretch their muscles a little bit. Because
you speak Bible. What is it? Something the cock crows 3 times. Isn't it 3 times treason has been proven now? This is the first treason with Russia. The second impeachment, of course, was Ukraine. Same thing. That was part of the Russian disinformation. And the third time is the insurrection. To explain the thing,
but the third time the cock crowed, Jesus's friend realized he was a jerk. Trump's friends won't. They're just going to buy more lawyers. That's the right.
Okay. So we've also, speaking of justice, been talking about the Supreme Court. You said, Tom Cotton, of course, tweeted, packing the Supreme Court would destroy the Supreme Court. The Democrats will do anything for power. You said, but changing the Supreme Court from 9 justices to 8 for a year, lying about the reason so the first black POTUS couldn't get an up or down vote on Merrick Garland, was doing an acceptable thing for GOP power. I'm Tom Cotton, and hypocrisy is my morality. Wags his at history. Yeah, they just make
dignified, lying about my military career, and I'm here to be angry and get my clip on Fox. He looks like a constipated pencil. Look, here's the deal. We have 9 judges because we have 9 appellate courts. But oh wait, we now have 13 appellate courts, but we didn't prorate with the justices. John Adams changed the number of judges. Jefferson did. He added 2. Andrew Jackson, who is such a genocidal douchebag, Donald Trump put his portrait in the Oval Office. He added 2 more justices. Lots of presidents have done this over the years. And I'll tell you, I've been really swayed. I was really against killing the filibuster. Now I'm for it. I was really against adding judges to the court. Now I'm for it. I don't think it'll happen, but there is nothing in the Constitution that says it has to be 9. And if we're keeping pace with the appellates, we should have 13.
They make up all their own rules anyway, John. You can't, this close to an election, and then they just install one during an election. That you can't. I mean, you're absolutely right. They don't care if there's 8 justices because They
don't care. I mean, Mitch McConnell changed it from 9 to 8 for a year.
Right.
And of the 6 judges that are the conservatives, 5 of them were appointed by presidents who had lost the popular vote. The majority of Americans voted against Bush when he first ran. The majority of Americans voted against Trump both times. So 5 of these 6 are against the will of the people. All 3 of Donald Trump's nominees are totally illegitimate. Gorsuch had a stolen seat, and don't we love how the GOP loves stolen merchandise? Kavanaugh lied under oath. He perjured himself. It's right there for everyone to see. God bless Senator Sheldon Whitehouse for looking into that. And Amy Coney Barrett, I don't really think we need to go too deep into this. They lied to not appoint Merrick Garland with this made-up Biden rule, and then they forgot about that and rushed her through with 8 days when 65 million Americans had already voted. All 3 of Celebrity Apprentice's Supreme Court justices are not valid. So yeah, we got to do it. They're not going to stop cheating. Yeah. So what are we going to do? In the next 50 years, the fascists are still going to ratchet up a lot of wins. Do you want the non-fascists to ratchet up some wins as well?
Yeah.
It's got to be done.
Yeah, absolutely. You were talking about the Capitol. You know, we're in the middle of all these horrible just police brutality cases, and you said Ashley Babbitt is dead because of Donald Trump's lies. Remember how the blindly obedient Trump supporters denied the insurrectionists were Trump supporters. It's just, I think it's like sometimes it's like the overload of all of the stories together in a news cycle, right? That just gets someone was saying, go ahead. Yeah, go ahead.
We've gotten used to that under Donald Trump. Remember the old days when things would happen one at a time? And then under Donald Trump, it was like, you get ratings in news if you have a war or a scandal or a natural disaster. Trump was like having all 3 at once, and he was ratings crack. And now that he's gone, the media needs to keep the outrage machine going, but we're also more aware because of the pandemic. More people are paying attention to what's going on. It's not like there's more shootings of unarmed Black people. It's just more cameras documenting it.
Yeah.
It's not like there's more fascist scandals and these charlatans in Congress. We're just paying closer attention to it now. So, I mean, it's going to keep on being like this, but I'm so encouraged by how much more people are paying attention to it, how we're fighting back more. And honestly, like we find out this morning that so many cops have donated to Kyle Rittenhouse's defense fund.
Right.
Good. Let's get their names. Joe Biden said we have to root them out. Let's root them out.
Yeah.
They can be replaced. If you're a cop and you've donated to this guy, if you're a cop and you've got white supremacist stuff on your Facebooks, you're not there to protect and serve everyone, and our tax dollars can't go to your salary. They got to go. They can be replaced.
Yeah. You tweeted Joel Greenberg just flipped like a crack house mattress and is cooperating with the feds. Is your Venmo history propaganda, Matt? We talked to Glenn Kirshner, and I like my toast burnt, and I think that's about where Matt Gaetz is on the. I think he's burnt toast. If you have to know what kind of toast, it's just I think a matter of time, don't you think, before he's arrested? I think it could be any time, because Glenn was talking about the level you have to be at to seize a sitting congressman's phone, what level of evidence you have to have. And he said it's obviously way more than we even know now.
Oh, yeah. I mean, when William Barr wouldn't be in the same room as Matt Gaetz, the last several months he was serving as attorney specific. I mean, and if you liberals blow it, and get Matt Gaetz out of there too soon, I will never forgive you, liberals. We need Matt Gaetz. We need Marjorie Taylor Greene. They are the best possible fundraising tools the Democratic Party has. Keep them in there. Let Matt Gaetz be the gigantic, stretched out face of the Republican Party. Let his forehead be the landing strip where the Republicans park.
But you're right. When you think about Bill Barr, he's like, Paul Manafort, Michael Flynn, they only are complete traitors that sold out their country. Them, we'll let them go. But Matt Gaetz, too skeevy even for me. I mean,
it's amazing. Like I think there's a lot of value in keeping Matt Gaetz and Marjorie Taylor Greene in Congress, because if they were gone, they'd be replaced by less odious people who voted the exact same way and could help the GOP with fundraising more. So I think that there's a certain advantage of having these really pronounced villains.
Right.
But this is a beautiful level of corruption, and all just how much lower can Matt Gaetz go before Newsmax finally gets interested?
Yes, and Jim Jordan, sole Matt Gaetz defender. How many times could you watch Maxine Waters shove him into a locker yesterday? Because he's just. What does he just live to just pester Dr. Fauci? Here he is yesterday.
Oh.
Yes, here he is. Jim Jordan yesterday. Number 2, yes. Sorry, Sean was not looking at me. Number 2. Here we go. No? Is it not number 2?
Nope.
Okay.
Nope.
It's not on the soundbite list.
Working. No.
Oh. Okay. All right. Well, Jim,
last night, it's amazing because it was really Clyburn who shut him up.
Yeah.
And keep in mind that all Jim Jordan's doing is auditioning to get a clip on Fox News at night. All of this grandstanding Republicans do, they're just trying to get their soundbite. I mean, Ratcliffe was so good at being a troll in hearings that he became director of Homeland Security. So that's all it is. Jim Jordan will flip on Matt Gaetz as soon as it's convenient for him, and Fauci handled him like a bug.
Yeah, but John, we were saying there was a story last night about Australia where one of my best friends lives. They shut it down. Like they shut the country down. Everyone complied. They wore a mask. It's gone now. When they had a little outbreak, they shut down again. Everybody complied. It's over. We are the only country fighting douchebags like Jim Jordan. I mean, I'm sorry, not the only country, but I mean, it is just, this one, the CDC revealed only 0.008% of the fully vaccinated population has been infected with coronavirus 2 weeks after their final dose. Out of the more than 66 million Americans who've been fully vaccinated, only 5,800 cases of COVID were identified, meaning that although the vaccine is extremely effective, it does not protect 100. It's obviously no vaccine is 100%. Fauci said you'll always see some breakthrough infections no matter the efficacy of your vaccine. We're going to see breakthroughs in numbers that are going to be well within the 90, 95%, 97% effectiveness rates of the vaccines. Like, are they that stupid that they keep saying, well, why do we still have to keep wearing masks and distancing? Because it's not 100%, right? B, because it takes time for antibodies, in some people 2 weeks, and some people longer. And number three, there's variants out there. Like, we're not through this yet. And it's just, it's just so infuriating, John, that it's Americans sabotaging America right now.
Well, but Steph, the Confederates lost the war, but won the Union. And the Confederates are still slowing us down. The Confederates are still engaging in white supremacy and fighting for it. The Confederates are still doing everything they can do to hurt the Union. And they're keeping us out of the 21st century. They're embarrassing us in front of the rest of the world. That's why I'm pitching my brand new solution of creating the Trump domain Whitetopia. We're going to take a little bit of Mississippi and Alabama. You can take the whole states if you want. That'd be sad, but we can just DC and Puerto Rico and have 50 stars in the flag still. And Donald Trump will be ruler for life. You can move down there. All the drugs you want, all the guns you want, libertarian paradise.
Utopia.
We have to put it all on camera. America can sell the pay-per-view rights around the world, and that's how we're going to pay for the wall we build across our southern border, protect us from Whitetopia. And when their economy collapses, they can go to their neighbors, Mexico, for help. It's going to work beautifully.
All right. Do we have any of this? Do we have cut 4? What's going on there? Okay, cut 4, please, Dr. Fauci.
Right now, we're at an unacceptably high level. On a daily basis, it's unacceptably high, regardless of who you are. What you're going to see as more and more people get vaccinated, and we get over 3 million people a day, you're going to see the level of infection come down, and gradually there will be more flexibility for doing the things that you're talking about.
Where does it get to? When it comes down, what number do we get our liberties back? Tell me the number. Tell me the number.
90% of the members of Congress get vaccinated.
But you're not a doctor, Mr. Clyburn. He is. What is the number?
Seriously, pestering him like he's his dad. It's like, when am I not grounded? It's like, this is not, he's a doctor that's giving you the facts. He's not. And by the way, it's so infuriating, John, that the way we get our freedoms back is to do what Dr. Fauci says. Get vaccinated, social distance, mask up until we're through this.
No one's lost their liberty. You can't go to church because there's a plague. Well, all that proves is that Joe Biden's a lot more pro-life than you guys are. Right. Because the pro-life people are the ones who don't want your mom getting sick in church. Yeah. So they're literally anti-life. And for me, the greatest argument for the vaccine is that once it went through, you've seen this, in 5 weeks, nursing home infections went down 96%.
Thank you. My mom's in a nursing home. Mm-hmm. Yes, it's relevant to a lot of us. Right.
So, of course, it's not going to work for everyone. That's how these things go. Fauci's right on that. But again, our liberties have been taken away from us. Give me a break. I mean, this guy, imagine going after Dr. Fauci because your dream when you grow up is to be just like Rand Paul. My God. Right. Jim Jordan's better off when he's looking the other way.
There's another story today, John, before we end, but cause meet effect. A gym in Quebec City that has defied lockdown orders during the COVID pandemic has now been linked to hundreds of cases, including a death. Mega Fitness Gym in Quebec City served as a super spreader center for the novel coronavirus in the weeks before it was officially shut down for defying pandemic restrictions. 224 people were infected at one gym and one death. Another 356 related cases involving outbreaks at 49 workplaces in Canada. A 40-year-old man who trained at the gym has died. The gym's owner was, had defied pandemic restriction, had even written social media posts questioning the effectiveness of masks, downplaying the severity of the pandemic. So I shouldn't say it's only here. We have COVIDiots like Jim Jordan. But again, cause effect. It's like, I mean, how much clearer what did I just say? 224 people infected at one gym. I mean, it's just, it's.
Here's the great irony. The people who were talking about herd immunity 6 months ago are the reason it's going to take us another year to reach herd immunity.
Yes. Yes.
It's their fault. It's them. It's the people, the anti-science people who believe pro wrestling is real, but climate science is fake. Yeah. Are going to be the ones who make this go on even longer.
Oh my God. That's why I'm channeling Matching Waters for the rest of my life. Shut your mouth, Jim Jordan. We will get our freedoms back when you stop encouraging people to be mask holes and COVIDiots. That's when we're going to get our freedom back. Tell them to get vaccinated. Tell them to distance and mask, right? Period.
And at the end of that clip, it's actually Clyburn who shuts him up. It's amazing. Clyburn says something secretive and says, the gentleman knows me personally. And whatever he was implying, he shut Jim Jordan up like a locker room door. He just, you didn't hear anything after that. So, this guy's going to be a troll and he's going to continue to do this for attention. But right now, the UK variant is more common in America than the original virus that killed so many of us. But yet you don't hear the racists talking about the English virus, do you? Not coming up.
Yeah, absolutely. John, we love you. By the way, you've got to go to sexyliberal.com, and you did not miss it. It's on demand for a year, $15. You have got to see John Fugelsang's Who's on First. Somebody just tweeted they watched it 5 times. I think I've watched it at least that many.
Watch my horrible Matt Gaetz, watch my horrible Ted Cruz, my horrible Governor Cuomo. I
Tucker Carlson in his baffled bitch face. You've got to John Fugelsang. He went seamlessly from these brilliant films about New York into these amazing character. It's just, you have to see it. You have to see it.
You guys raised the bar. I was trying to make these little New York films, and then suddenly we're a sketch show, and so I had to, really,
you were like, all right, it's going to be like that? All right.
Murdering these people. By the way, tonight on Sirius XM, David Crosby returns to my show.
Sweet.
A lot of fun. David just sold his entire songwriting catalog, and we're going to talk about a lot of fun stuff. And then a special conversation with myself and Richard Branson and Mary Robinson, who is the first female president of Ireland. The three of us sat down and talked about climate change and COVID and everything else, and they allowed me to stay in the room for the entire conversation.
Are you and Richard going to talk about whose hair is longer and dreamier, or just?
I told him I was going for him. I know he knows. He knows I am ripping off his look. I'm also building a space contraption in my backyard. So I'm just kind of, really doing my own thing. And I've also got my own airline that's now grounded. So I'm just like Richard Branson. And Tom Jones comes on the show next week. We get Tom Jones for the first time next week on our show.
Team Progress, Sirius XM. Yoo-hoo!